This is a simple, super practical tip on how to handle people when they're angry with you, and it's based upon the Bible. So they don't just think you're wrong, right? They're not just disagreeing with you. They're mad, they're angry, and it's coming out in their words and the things they say about you, to you, and their face. Ooh, their face is definitely mad at you. So what you say next is what makes all the difference in the world, and that's what this Bible verse is all about. Welcome to Wisdom in the Word, where we study the biblical art of wisdom. So what do you do when they're mad at you? What do you do with this angry person at that moment, that key moment, when they've revealed their wrath, and now you have to respond? Proverbs 15:1 says, "A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." And that is the key. This is the thing. Let me illustrate with a little story. My first car was a 1966 Mustang, and it had a lot of issues with it and problems with it. One of them for a season was I had no brake lights and some kind of electrical problem. And one day I was driving down the street, and this issue was going on, and a guy pulled up behind me, honked his horn and a lot, and started shaking his fist and yelling at me. Then he peeled up around me, screeching and screaming and cussing and calling me names, and then tells me to get my blinking brake lights fixed. Now, being a young teenager, or just a human, I was pretty irritated at the way he handled the situation. His wrath invoked my irritation. And for a second, I was about to respond really angry, say something mean or sarcastic to him. And instead, I turned and I said, "I'm so sorry, sir." I called him sir. I said, "I'm so sorry, sir. I will get that fixed as soon as possible." What was amazing to me was the guy's response. Instead of being angry, his face suddenly lit up. He smiled and he was like, "No problem. Have a great day." And then he drove off down the street. As I turned the corner to head back towards home, this verse came to my mind. A soft answer turns away wrath. And I just smiled. I was like, wow, God, your word is good. So let's dig into this verse a little bit more carefully. We've got to understand this wisdom if we're going to be able to apply it in our lives. First thing, it's going to require you to have a lot of self-awareness. When somebody comes at you and they're mad, this causes you to respond in kind, typically. That's the normal response. Human beings, we're like porcupines, right? You scare a porcupine or you attack a porcupine and whoop, the quills come out. And at the end of every quill is a barb, a sharp barb that's going to get into you and it's going to cause you some problems. And that's how the porcupine protects itself. But the thing is, in Christ, I'm not called to respond in the natural. I'm called to love those who curse me, to bless them, in fact. I'm called to overlook offenses. This is Christianity 101, right? To ignore and overlook the offense and respond with love and grace and kindness instead. So this verse is going to require you to have this godly mentality where you don't respond in kind. Instead, you respond with the opposite. If they give me sharp words, I give them soft words. If they give me harsh statements, I give them gentle statements. If they give me wrath, I give them kindness. And what's the effect of this soft response? It says it turns away wrath. You see, it's interesting. Think about this. It doesn't cause them to agree with you. It causes them to not be wrathful at you. The wrath isn't aimed at you anymore. Well, you're gentle now. You're kind. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad now at the situation now you can be part of the solution because the wrath's not at you. So they may still disagree. They may still have a discussion about it, but the wrath has been taken out of the equation so that we can actually accomplish something with this. So don't let their sin of wrath towards you, don't let that sin become your temptation to do the same thing to them. Rise above it. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. On the flip side, if I give a harsh word in response to a harsh word, it'll elevate and escalate the whole thing. It will cause the person to attack me more and cause me to defend more. And it just keeps going up and up and up. It turns into something really ugly. So soften your response. Soften your response. Now, it's worth saying a couple things as you carry this forward into your life. And one is, this is wisdom, it's not law. Meaning this is generally how we should live our lives. But there are times where a harsh word's appropriate. Times where it's maybe even necessary. But in general, the soft response is our go-to when someone's getting mad at us. And I'll admit too that this will not always work. It will not always 100% of the time turn their wrath away. But it works frequently enough to be included in the book of Proverbs so that we might live our lives in this way. And in so doing, you're honoring God, you're walking in biblical wisdom, and God will take care of you. If you want to learn how to think biblically about everything, I encourage you to check out BibleThinker.org, where I have a ton of content available for you for free to look at, download. You can even look at my notes if you'd like. And on that website, you'll see everything organized by series, organized by topic, and also searchable in the search bar, all for hopefully for your convenience and to be a blessing to you.